Welcome to Degenerate EDC. EDC done degenerately. And this is not a review. This is a roll call. 10 crossbar lock knives. 10 degenerate reasons why I love them. No flippers needed, but they still tag along because there's a gritty, ambidextrous lockup that says, I'm here to work, not impress your poppy. If you're not familiar with the crossbar lock, please pay attention. If you're still using liner locks, that's fine. But this party's for the crossbar crew. 10 deep, degenerate, and proud. Starting with my least favorite to fave, this is the Sanrenmu 7063. The bronze buser with a bottle opener. This is a DuraTech, the budget brawler. This is the JSW Tactical, my Carter menace. This is the Schrade Divergent with an OS 8 attitude. This is the Sativian ST124, all-bearing baller. This is the Flytanium BEEF, built to settle scores as well as handle the beef. This is the CJRB Nanner, banana-shaped chaos. This is the Kershaw Iridium, clean lines, dirty intentions. This the Steel Vis, or VIS, my Carter mic drop. And last but not least, the SOG Terminus XR, sleek but savage. Now, let's take a closer look at each one, starting with the SOG XR, coming in with the ergonomic, ambidextrous, lightweight, and sleek. Now, check that blade. You got an F35 VN steel that is not too loosey-goosey, but as you can see when you press in that mechanism, it's tight, but maybe that tightness is needed. Deploys easily. You got your pocket clip, which appears to only have one way, okay? And again, once you press that mechanism, you see how sleek it is. A little sticky, but it's a solid stickiness. There you have it, SOG. Smooth, slippery when wet. However, very, very slick. You don't get the smoothness here. As you can see, it's not liquid, but it's solid. It feels sturdy, it feels strong. And I'm all about this one. Deep pocket clip. We love when it goes deep. Lines are pretty even. And it feels light. And that blade jumps out like an orangutan. Yeah, that crossbar, see, that's what the crossbar does. It allows you to flip without the need of anything else. You can use this crossbar left hand or right hand, either way. That's the SOG Terminus. All right, what we got next is the REALSTEEL Vis. I said real. REALSTEEL makes this amazing pocket knife. You got the crossbar lock, a 2.27-inch blade, and look at that smoothness from the 12C27 satin steel plain blade. That thumb hole allows me to deploy my Carter handle and an amazing pocket clip. Look at that pocket clip. This is actually the only REALSTEEL knife I own. I do plan on getting more, and I'm proud of this one. Super proud. Huge fan of my Carter. I think my Carter is a fan of me. And again, that crossbar action is absolutely degenerate. This is a super duper crossbar action, insane in the brain, hard to maintain. There you have it. The real Steel Vis. All right. Next up, we have the Kershaw Iridium. And watch out with this one because smoothness is this nickname. That is probably one of the smoothest mechanisms I've seen to date. You get a D2 steel blade with this one. Gray aluminum handle. And again, look at this action. It is magnificently smooth. Smoother than the rest, I'd say. One of the smoothest out of all. And that pocket clip is to die for. Looked like it just came from the barber shop, fresh and clean. That blade is so snappy. And again, you only need one hand with this knife, with all knives that are crossbar locks. And that is, one of the benefits of crossbar locks. There you have it, Kershaw Iridium. Next up, we got the CJRB Nanner, AKA my banana smoothie. And that's my banana smoothie, okay? You got this 3.23 inch AR RPM 9 steel blade. And look how swingy this is. Love the way this knife feels. You got the G10 handle. And that crossbar lock is just screaming without saying one word. My goodness. Smooth action. CJRB makes probably some of the smoothest action for the price. I mean, I paid about $45 for this knife, and it feels just as much as a knife I paid, for example, the SOG Terminus was $75 on sale. So this banana thriller is definitely a winner. You got that front flipper, which you don't need because that crossbar lock is efficient, smooth, and packs everything all in one small little push of a button. Next, this is the Flytanium BEEF. First time holding on to one of these knives. I do plan on picking up a few more. They feel very, very durable, a little heavy, so there isn't a lightweight feel to these. You definitely do feel like you're holding on to a strong pocket knife. You got a G10 handle with D2 steel blade. And again, this crossbar lock, making it ambidextrous is what literally makes it a winner. The feel of this knife is amazing. I never knew what Flytanium was. And it's a smooth engagement when you pull that crossbar lock down. Not as smooth as the Iridium, but check out that pocket clip. Reversible. And I paid probably about $50 for this knife. It was on sale when I got it, but I don't think it's on sale anymore. I might have bought the last one actually. But the Flytanium BEEF is definitely one whose crossbar lock but is smooth enough for the table, smooth enough for the collection. And here we have the Sativian ST124. Look at that D2 swing. Got the G10 handle with the ball bearing pivot that is just screaming, again, without saying one word. The pocket clip on this is beautiful. I could use two of these if I could. And the action on this is also absolutely smooth. Reminds me a lot of many of the other ones on the table, the ones that have the smoothness to it, if you know what I mean. Ball bearing pivots win. Ball bearing pivots win, my friend. And again, access lock, aka crossbar lock, whatever you want to call it, but they both do the same thing. Both are a thrill. And man, this one is an absolute beast. All right, so next one is similar. This is the Schrade Delta Class Divergent, okay, with a 3-inch AUS 8 steel blade and a G10 handle with smoothness, I must say. Solid deployment. I paid 30 bucks for this knife, and for 30 bucks, you're getting so much knife, so much action, so much solid consistency, and the smoothness to the touch is, next to none when compared to other knives that are at the same price. Pocket clip is perfect. It couldn't get more perfect. In and out, smooth, blade comes out sharp, and that crossbar lock is exactly like all the others. Next, we've got the JSW Tactical. This is a 3.7-inch blade with a micarta handle. 440C stainless on this one, guys. So, I paid 25 bucks. It is more of a budget-friendly knife. The action on this is not as smooth, I'll admit. When you pull down on the crossbar lock, I don't get the same smoothness. However, it's solid when engaged. The lock is strong, and the blade is very, very sharp on these JSWS blades. But as you can see, it doesn't deploy as smooth. When pressing the mechanism, you definitely have to jerk the wrist a little to get that one to go. And one of my faves, due to the price, is this DuraTech, which I paid only 10 bucks for. That's right, only 10 bucks for, wait for it. Look at that smoothness. 10 bucks for one of the smoothest crossbar locks I've ever seen. You also get a G10 handle, and man, for what I paid for this knife and what you're getting here, it's insane, and that's probably why it's sold out. Yeah, I literally went and checked to see if I can, put this down. The $10 knife, which is no longer available, and you see why. The action is so smooth. Watch. I'm gonna barely press the crossbar. There's that thumb stud action. Pocket clip is beautiful. That handle texture is amazing. And look at that. You see that? So smooth, so durable. And last but not least, one more knife, the one at the bottom of the barrel. This is the Sanrenmu 7063. It's got the 8CR 13 MOV steel blade, bronze aluminum handle, and it does have a bottle opener. This one is not as smooth with the crossbar lock, with its access lock, with whatever lock you want to call it, but I paid 14 bucks for this knife. And as you can see, the blade will not deploy. There's not much of a detent on that. But once you engage on that crossbar, that blade will jump out as needed. You just have to do a flick of the wrist, both up and down, and you get amazing action for a $14 knife. Again, these crossbar locks are one-hand jammers. They're, you trying to get absolutely degenerate with one hand where your other hand is occupied, well, there you go. Crossbar locks are the degenerate's dream. You can flick them open with gloves, with greasy hands, with one hand while the other's holding drywall. They don't care about elegance, they care about repeatability. That lockup, it's like a handshake from a dude who's done time. Solid and secure. I've got links to all these crossbars in the description if you want to get your hands on any of these beasts. They are associates links, so keep in mind, I'm not doing this to get you to buy anything. I'm doing this to get you to see which crossbar locks are the absolute degenerate ones. If you're into this crossbar lock chaos, please smash that like button and subscribe. Join the Degen tribe. You won't regret it. And if you're a content creator in the knife community, drop a comment with your channel and I will follow you. Tell me, which crossbar lock knives do you pack and why? Thanks for tuning in to this degeneracy.